biggest iconic wrestling.
So until you're back on the walk back, you might wind up in a body bag.
This is the Mile High Magnum, Dak Draper, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag Podcast.
Reach for it. Reach for it. Reach for it. I'm Matt Seidel. This is the I-70 Hot Tag.
This is the walking weapon, Josh Alexander, current, reigning, defending Impact World Champion, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
This is the one, the only, Tobias Storm.
This is Mike Outlaw.
This is Superstar Steve Fender.
Because I am the illustrious one, Ray Leon.
This is a Kings Road Slayer, Derek Neal, baby. Yeah!
What's up, everybody? It is one half of the beautiful people and 7-time Women's World Champion Angelina Love. And aren't you lucky? You are watching the I-70 Hot Tag.
And now, CR Media presents the I-70 Hot Tag with your host, Chaos Chase, and the real Josh Elliott.
What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Chase, a.k.a. CR Media, as you guys may know me online, and we are here for 1 year.
It's here.
It is here. It is here, guys. Chase, like I said, next to me, as always, without fail, never ever disappoints. My good friend, the real Josh Elliott, not a fake one. All have been taken out by the Luigi Primo. We appreciate that, but the real Josh Elliott is here for us on this 1 year anniversary, man. Don't think number one, didn't think we would get to do all the things that we've got to do. Yep. Since we started this podcast last year, sitting in the crowd, I'm like, hey, let's talk about something besides AEW, WWE, and all that nonsense. Let's do something different. And this has been something different, and it's worked out great. We've been able to sponsor events. We've been able to go to events. We've been able to do a bunch of cool stuff. Interview people that we didn't think we would ever get an opportunity to interview. Also help put over the companies in Kansas and Missouri. Let people know what talent is out there, what promotions are out there. And no different. Tonight is no different. Tonight, a talent that if you'd asked me a year ago, hey, do you think you'd ever get an opportunity to ask Buff Bagwell, Buff Daddy, about any of his time in professional wrestling? I'd have said no way. Nope. But here we are. We're gonna do it. Appreciate everybody joining with us tonight. As you guys know, we are one of the sponsors of SICW. Herb Simmons comes in and says what's up to us all the time. We're going to be one of the sponsors for his Fanfest. And that is how we linked up with Mr. Bagwell, and how we're going to talk mainly about that tonight, and also ask him some other questions as well. So, guys, we are live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We are live on CR Media's twitch.tv/CR Media 1988. And then the I-70 Hot Tag YouTube and Facebook page. Make sure, guys, the link trees are in the bios. I don't want to take too much time doing all this, mumbo jumbo bull crap. It's in the description. If you guys can hit the link trees, follow us on all forms of social media. Shout out to our guest last week, Greg Jovi. Pleasure having him on. Always, he's our two-time guest. So I want to give him a special shout out. Want to give a special shout out to our sponsors, Dean's Trophies, who helped make this show be possible, and helped make our t-shirts that we sell at events. So pick you up one. Nice cotton, feels great on the skin, if you know what I mean. And then also Big Daddy's Donuts, that makes this body beautiful for the I-70 Hot Tag shirt to feel good on this skin. Big Daddy's Donuts is our primetime sponsor. Special shout out to those guys. Josh.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to break tradition, even though tradition bites. NWO for life. I'm going to keep tradition this week. We let you introduce the guest every week. This is going to be no different. This is pretty cool for Josh. So, Josh, I'm going to let you introduce our guest this week.
Yes, sir. One of my favorites growing up, guys. As you said earlier, could not think that we would ever be doing this. We're here 1 year anniversary episode. So let's introduce him now, guys. He's a 5-time WCW Tag Team Champion, NWO member, been around a long time, guys. We're going to see him on May 13th at SICW Fanfest in St. Louis at the Aviator Ballroom. Please welcome our guest tonight, Buff the Stuff Bagwell.
Announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
I'm Buff on the stuff, and the girls just can't get enough. Buff Daddy! I'm Buff Daddy! Buff Daddy! Buff is the
stuff. How you doing, sir?
What's up? What's up?
Appreciate you taking the time out to do this, man. This is awesome.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So Buff, like we've mentioned a few times now already, we're going to see you May 13th in St. Louis. The whole idea of this show is to kind of, talk about Kansas and Missouri, independent wrestling, kind of put a little bit of a spotlight on the small guys, doing big things. Usually I like to start off our interviews by asking for you to tell us who you are. but yeah, it's a little redundant. We all know who Buff Bagwell is. So we got a couple of different questions lined up for you tonight. One of the things is I want to talk to you about on Monday, in preparation for our guests, we always watch a match. It was a little bit fun to watch one of yours instead of, trying to find a cell phone camera at an independent event. So we watched two of your matches. One of those was against Rick Rude for the Big Gold Heavyweight Championship. What can you tell us about, working with Rick Rude so early on in your career?
It was a big deal, man. Of course, I do remember going over that match and it being Rick Rude, and thinking, God, because Rick Rude was like, he was a man's man. He was, 6'5", 260, but ripped to the bone. Just the kind of guy you could strike a match on his face, strike a match on his chest, his back. He was a man, And I was a kid. I was a 20-year-old man or 21, but I was still a kid in the world of men like that. And I was tough, and I was a badass, but I wasn't that kind of tough. So we're in the back going over the match, and I remember we got to the ring, and he was looking at me, and I thought he was looking at me, but really he was looking at somebody. Obviously, he was looking at somebody behind me. So I look in the audience, I look behind me like this, and when I turned back, he was looking at me, and I was like, "Oh my God, why is he looking at me like that?" So I learned pretty quick that it was game time. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, I may have bit off a little more than I could chew right here,
Right.
I got to plug my battery in right quick as my phone was dying on me. So it was intense, bro. It was a real, I got thrown to the wolves with the Dangerous Alliance, you're talking about the top of the top stars with the industry was the Dangerous Alliance guys. It was Stone Cold, which was Stunning Steve for us. It was Stunning Steve, Larry Zbyszko, Bobby Eaton, Rick Rude, and Heyman. Dangerous Alliance was Paulie Dangerously was his name back then. So it was a big deal, and I was thrown into the big stars instantly. And they had, even though I was getting beat up every week, it didn't matter. I was rubbing elbows with Sting and Rick Rude's, and I fit in a really crazy role at the time, which was a role of I looked the part, incredibly good, looked the part, and I could do everything they asked me to do. And so I was like a perfect job guy. Because I looked good, you got a great win over me, and beat me to death, which is what they did, wasn't going to hurt me. Dusty constantly told me week after week, I go, Dusty, am I ever going to win a match? And he goes, man, I promise you, it won't matter. Fans ain't going to remember this, And he was right. I trusted him, but he was right. I remember just thinking, there's no way I'll ever get popular getting beat every week. But when Sting's coming out to save you, and top guys are beating you up, so every time Sting was going to wrestle somebody for the world championship, they'd beat me up. And Vader would beat me up, and Sting would make the save. Rude would beat me up, and Sting would make the save. And it was just it was a great place to be in as far as a rookie. Because I was instantly, I was known. So it was really cool, a lot of great things. But I do remember being in that match vividly and remembering how scared to death I was of Rick Rude.
Right. You said, or in the intro, I talked about you being a 5-time WCW tag team champion, with 4 different partners. You also teamed with Scott Norton with Vicious and Delicious, Lex Luger with Totally Buff. Did you think early on in your career that you were a tag team specialist? Is that kind of how your thought process was? Because you kind of molded very well with multiple different partners.
It really wasn't. I took a lot of pride and joy in carrying that fact of being a 5-time world tag team champion with 4 different dudes. I don't think it's ever been done. And if it has, it wasn't done in 11 years. I did that in 11 years. 11 years, I was a 5-time world tag team champion with 4 different dudes. Now, no matter what you say about that, you've got to underline the fact that that means I have got to be adjustable. I have got to adapt to make that happen. Dale Wilkes is nothing like Too Cold Scorpio. Too Cold Scorpio and Scotty Riggs are nothing alike. Scotty Riggs and Shane Douglas are nothing like. Nothing out of those 4 people are somewhat alike. Nothing, which means I had to adapt. That don't mean I'm better than anybody. It just means I really figured out, I think, how the tag team world happened and how hot tags and building heat spots and building that heat spot and the heat tag and the hot tag. All those things I became very, very good at because I was doing it at a very young age. Your tag team match should be the best match on the card every single night because you got more people. If there's more people, you should have a better match. There shouldn't be a rest spot. You got a match, you should constantly be going wide open. There should hardly ever be a rest hold. And the only time we ever did grab a rest hold was when we were getting ready for the hot tag. That was it. So the rest of the time you kept moving. You just didn't do no rest spots because you got a little blown up, you tagged out. And then you do a full wide open spot and then tag out, and a full wide open spot is much better of a match than it always should have been. And if my match was on the card, it always was one of the best matches. But I really get in the groove with it at a young age. And the reason why is because I saw the world championship line and it was real long. And I looked over here at that world tag team line and it was real short. And I thought, if you can be the best of the best and tag or singles, it's still the best. So I saw validity. I saw just common sense in getting in that tag team line. Now, I didn't know I was going to be really good at it. I didn't know I was going to really enjoy tag team wrestling as much as I did. I got in that line because it was short. But then once I got good at it, man, I was all about it. So it was really a great thing. And I love tag team wrestling. I just love the way the tag team match is supposed to go. Like I said, from the heat, the spot to get the heat started, to the heat spots, to the heat, to the hot tag. Everybody goes through those things with matches. I just happen to be really good at it with tag team stuff.
Buff, kind of talking to you about, a connection that you have with a lot of, talent from when, Josh and I were younger watching, is simple DDP yoga. I want to kind of just peel your brain about that. Talk to us about DDP yoga. And did Diamond seek you out? Did he message you and ask you about it, or did you seek him out?
It was a little of both. Dallas was doing this back when yoga was not cool. I remember me and Luger was in the audience. Me and Luger, big jacked up and looked great and shredded. And there's Dallas, pretty decent body, but nothing to write home about. We were body guys, and Dallas really wasn't a body guy. But he was great at wrestling, but he wasn't a body guy. We were body guys trying to be great at wrestling. And I remember being in the ring doing the yoga, and we were like, "What are you doing, you loser?" And then fast forward 20 years, and Luger's in a wheelchair, God bless his soul, and I'm on crutches. So, it's just amazing at what he found, and nobody knew he had the fountain of youth, but he really did with the yoga, man. The DDPY thing has just been unbelievable. He saves lives, bro. DDPY saves lives, but he seeked me out trying to get me to be like, we were always friends all the way through, but he seeked me out with the DDPY part because I wasn't a believer. I was a believer in weight training. And he really, though, proved everybody wrong with the yoga being so much more healthy with the stretching. Diet we had down. We do diet, but we had no idea about the stretching of the muscles and what that did for your tendons and ligaments and muscles. And it just was a really big difference. All yoga really is a real fancy way of stretching. The more flexible you are, the better your blood flow, the better, the more healthy you are, the better you feel, the less inflammation. Yoga really it just means stretching, but it's doing poses that allow you to stretch to help those muscles and to create it. And it's just really, really a magnificent thing that Dallas came into. He didn't get into this to make money. He got in it to help people, and out of it to be able to get in something that you're just trying to help people. And then out of it comes you're saving people's lives. It was just a really magical thing to see him go through, and now to be part of and be under the umbrella of a DDPY and have Dallas as one of my best friends is a great thing to be. It's a great spot.
Awesome. That is awesome. So one of the cool things about our show, we have live viewers. They like to submit some questions. So I want to go to the chat here. There's a couple good ones here from Raz, who's actually from Australia. Wants to know if Buff could work any current big name. Who would it be?
Any current big? I would love. I just really. I look at it a lot. Like I watched Cody and Roman and at WrestleMania live. I was there in LA live, and I just think me and Roman would have a great match. I never got to really show the WWF WWE crowd how great Marcus Bagwell really was, but Marcus Alexander Bagwell was a great wrestler, man. I mean, I can tell you one thing: you can go back and dig up all the matches you want to dig up, and seeing a whoopsie daisy duck or a whoopsie daisy miss or a something that looked kind of hokey pokey. I mean, you can count on half a hand, brother. It just didn't happen in my world. It just didn't. I just had my matches down to where even the Booker T match that got so much heat. There's not one slip up. There's not one bad punch. There's not one bad kick. There's not one anything off in that match. It got heat because WWF wanted it to be heat. And that's all. And I don't know exactly why, but all the podcasts were like, God, that match, they all said that match was bad. 2 years later after that match, people were going, that match wasn't that bad after all. So it was just what they made people believe because they needed to get rid of me for whatever reason. But it just wasn't, it was not a bad match. And no matter if it was a bad match or not, you don't get fired over that kind of stuff. I mean, I didn't think, but I did. So I hate that it going down like that. But the bottom line is I really took pride in not having bad matches, because if somebody's bad in your match, they don't say like, well, that other guy didn't do well, so that's why that match was bad. If somebody else don't do well in your match, it's a bad match. So to be a great wrestler and to deliver great matches is you got to be ready for if that guy messes up. You got to be ready to have a plan B. And I was a great plan B, plan C guy. I knew if somebody was going to slack in a certain spot or a certain area, I knew what to do to cover it. And I feel like they were doing the same for me. It's just I didn't get covered a lot because I mean, now don't get me wrong. If you ever watch me go over my match, I went over my match 1,000 times before we went out there. But it equaled a great television match.
Yep. So we got one more here from the chat. What was Buff's favorite moment from being in the NWO? Do you have one?
Man, God, when y'all played the music in your intro, it reminded me just how incredible you felt when you heard that music coming out. God, it was so intense. But every week was just unbelievable fun. But I guess the most memorable and best thing that ever happened, I think, is just the night I signed. I mean, the night I joined. And it was in Salisbury, Maryland. And I remember me and Riggs were the American Males, and I remember Kevin Nash coming in to the locker room and saying, "Man, you want to join the NWO?" And I was like, "Are you kidding? Yeah, hell yeah, I do." So that was the night that Eric Bischoff was like, "Hey, you got 30 days to join, or you're fired." So me and Riggs were the first two out, and back to Rick Rude. It's weird you brought his name up. I was a huge Rick Rude fan growing up. I always loved him. And so I was my finish, the Blockbuster, came off of Rick Rude's Rude Awakening. And that's what I hit Riggs with that first night to turn on Riggs to go into the NWO was a rude awakening. From the rude awakening, we needed to come up with something that was like a high flying type rude awakening. Out of that came the Blockbuster.
Awesome.
So that's where we got the finished idea.
Still use that move on my creative wrestler still to this day in wrestling games.
I love
that move.
A lot of guys use that. There's the black tag team in the WWE. Them boys use it, and then the guys on AEW, the Acclaim, they do it a lot.
Yep. Yeah, it's been quite used quite a bit, so it's very interesting.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to talk about a promo. You have got some memorable promos throughout your career. Your sayings, your swagger that you came out to the ring and on the microphone. There was one specific one. It was right around the time you and Scott Steiner were starting to feud. You guys were in the ring. He was.
Well, let me stop you.
Yep.
If it was Cincinnati, Ohio, was it?
I don't know what city it was in.
If it's the one where Scotty goes, I don't give a damn about the crowd. If it's that one, it was 100% shoot interview.
Yep, that's the one.
100%. We had not talked in 2 weeks. We had not spoken 2 weeks on that interview. Scotty and me were genuinely mad to the point I didn't know if it could have gone to blows or not. I didn't want it to go to blows because Scotty was a super duper badass. But at the same time, I wasn't going to take it from him. But I do remember out there when I went to turn from him and he pushed me back. I mean, anytime you want to know if I'm actually mad or not, look at my nostrils. And if they're flaring, I'm mad. In that match, in that ring, that night, I remember that was a 100% shoot interview.
Nice. That's awesome, man. That I take that. Anytime I think of Buff Bagwell, that promo comes to mind every single time. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Buff, you were recently on 83 Weeks with Conrad Thompson and Eric Bischoff. And you had mentioned aspirations for an in-ring return. Is that still an end goal? And if so, do you have an expected date to maybe start taking bookings to return?
I got an expected date. First of all, yes, it's definitely 100% in the mix. I am getting a knee replacement within 2 weeks. We know the date exactly, Tuesday, but within 2 weeks, I'll be getting my knee replacement. From that, there's nothing stopping me other than the knee replacement goes horribly wrong, keep me from getting back in the ring. The reason I can't get in the ring now is not because of pain or injury. It's out of my knee being hurt and them trying to fix it. My knee won't bend. My knee won't even bend 90 degrees. Just, a 90-degree turn, it won't even do. So it not being at 90 degrees, if I go down on the ground, I can't get up unless somebody pulls me up, because you got to be able to bend your knee to get your knee underneath you to stand up from the ground. And if I fell and took a bump on the floor, I literally got to pull myself up from the counter because my knee don't bend. So that's the reason why I can't wrestle, because if I get on the ground, I can't get up. But with that all said, that's been 2.5 years of that. So I'm getting a knee replacement, and I'm training my niece to wrestle. So she's a Atlanta Falcon cheerleader, complete, beautiful knockout. She has all the tools and bells and whistles to do this. It's just, a matter if we can get her to really get good at this. And so we've been training with her every week, and I think she's got what it takes. But she's a mother of 3 kids. But I mean, she is a smoking hot chick, even though she's my niece, and which it takes that nowadays. And she can also go. She's an athlete. So, but again, you got to have that piece of the puzzle that is not teachable. It's that piece of when you just kind of figure it out, that aha moment of, making wrestling look cool. And it's like trying to teach a woman to be sexy. You can't teach a woman to be sexy, and you can't teach a man to be cool. So with all that said, she's got to carry that last piece of it, but I'm going to get her all the way to that gate, and I think she'll be able to do it.
Awesome. Fantastic. Buff, we're going to start finishing up here soon. But our comment section is going crazy. So
do it.
I've got a few here for you. So, Jason Oliver wants to know if you enjoyed your time in WLW for a bit. WLW is Harley Race's promotion.
Harley didn't call me for a while. me and Harley were friends, but at the same time, he was, the demons were all over me, and he knew that. But he did bring me in a couple of times, and I loved Harley tremendously. But he also knew I was in a bad spot with the drugs and alcohol and stuff, and Harley didn't like that. But I did enjoy my time there all the time because those boys could work, and they were good. And Harley had a real good team of guys, and a lot of guys came out of there that knew what they were doing. But I really did enjoy my time. And when you brought up Kansas City earlier, for whatever reason, that was a huge WCW towns. It just really, really was. I mean, I remember wrestling in St. Joe, Missouri.
Yeah.
I mean, Joplin, Missouri. There's people out there that live in Kansas City that don't know about Joplin or St. Joe. I wrestled in St. Joe more than once, and I wrestled in Joplin more than once. Kansas City was a huge wrestling town for us, and I love it.
Absolutely. The other one I just want to point out, Aaron Wallace says, do you remember the scary bump on the Bulldog on Thunder, and do you still have nightmares because of that injury?
Oh, you mean the April 22nd, 1998 Thursday Night Thunder Rick Steiner one? Yeah. Paralyzed for 8 minutes. Crazy. No more nightmares from it, but I've never, ever taken the Bulldog since that day, and I never, ever will. It was a deal where I remember my first match back, again, like everybody else does, people tear their knee up, first match back, they win. People that break their neck and were paralyzed, I would guess first match back, they usually win. Well, my first match back, I lost. Go figure. So, and of course, they wanted me to take the Bulldog. And Kevin Nash was running the show, and I said, Kevin, are you kidding me? I said, I'm never doing the Bulldog ever again. Well, they were so adamant about me losing my first match back, and they wanted me to take that Bulldog so bad, I finally said, well, look, maybe, what if I face him? So I faced, if you look at that match back, Dean Dome, me and Scott Steiner versus Rick and Goldberg, main event, Monday Night Nitro. I faced Rick Steiner for him to come off with a Bulldog, and he comes off, I guess because I turned and faced him, he got confused. So we literally just collided in midair, and it looked horrible. But that was the idea, is I was going to take the Bulldog facing him 1, 2, 3 and get beat. And that angle could have been a year-long angle with me and Rick. He broke my neck on live television, and in one match, it was over. And I never understood why they did that. But again, they took a Monday Night Nitro show and somehow blew that. So a great show, great athletes, great talent. And Monday Night Nitro should still be going on up against Monday Night Raw somewhere.
Yep. So, Buff, as we start winding this down a little bit, we'd be remiss to not ask you about where we're going to see you in a couple weeks. May 13th, SICW Fanfest in St. Louis, Missouri at the Aviator Ballroom. I wanted to ask, is this the first time working with Herb Simmons, and kind of promote what you're going to have at the table for Fanfest for the fans to come up and check out?
Yeah, with the Herb, I'm not sure if it's my first time with him. A lot of times, we know, the city we're in and where we're supposed to be. Man, I've been doing this 34 years now. I do know it's my first time with GT Collectibles. And Tommy's bringing me in, and just two good guys, Tommy and then Tommy's great. I love him to death, and so's Garrett. They're both great. But it's a first time. It won't be the first time when I'm there. It'll be the second or third time I work for them. But the first time this weekend it will be GT Collectibles in Lufkin, Texas. But again, out in St. Louis, I'm gonna be really excited about that, because St. Louis, I think, remembers, not just Buff Bagwell, but they remember Marcus Alexander Bagwell, because we went all through Missouri as that character with Too Cold and Stars and Stripes and with Riggs. We did a lot of Missouri trips and tours, and so I'm real excited to come back there and be there as Buff Bagwell signing autographs. I think it's going to be a great turnout.
Agreed. Fantastic. I got two here for you, and then we're going to close you out, Buff.
Okay, buddy.
Hunter Dillon, who's a avid watcher of our show, he loves asking the question, and he's gonna word it a little bit differently tonight. But tonight, if you could write a letter to younger Bagwell, what would it say? Shortened version, of course.
That's a great question. I would probably, man, that's just so tough, bro. I was going to say go the route maybe of like, not putting all your eggs in one basket, but anybody could make that mistake. I mean, we all did. I mean, nobody thought that Ted Turner was going to sell to the WWF, Vince McMahon. Nobody saw that coming. You're Buff Bagwell, a 5-time World Tag Team Champion at 29 years of age. You're good to go, bro. I mean, you're Buff Bagwell. You're okay, right? No, you're not. So it was just shocking to be prepared for what happened to me. First of all, we know the story, but without beating it up, but we did the match out in, all the way out in Seattle and Tacoma, Washington. And it was a week before Atlanta. I mean, there's just no rhyme or reason to do that. We knew it wasn't good, me and Booker, that night, but we couldn't say anything, of course. So we did what we were supposed to do. We had a match, and then the match was horrible, they said. But again, getting fired over a bad match, I think every week somebody would be getting fired if that was the situation.
Absolutely.
But right. So be it. And then they were in Atlanta. Then they fired me in Atlanta. But there's just no way, I don't think, to really truly get prepared for that, for the letter to write me, except maybe just the demons, the prescription drugs. The only letter I could write that I've got a slight regret would be just be careful with your prescription drugs. And, I just wasn't. I just thought, I have a broke neck. I'm injured. So it's okay to take a bunch of Lortabs and a bunch of Somas because I'm injured. I broke my neck. It's okay. So I think it would just be really cautious of what you're taking. Be cautious because it could come back and get out of hand. And it did.
Last question is actually from a boy, one of the boys, illustrious Ray Leon. He wrestles in Colorado, wrestles in Kansas, wrestles all over the place. He's doing phenomenal. He's actually only been in the business for a year and he's doing great. He wants to know, how do you view wrestling as a whole, Brother Buff? And thank you and prayers on your knee surgery.
Oh, Ted, thanks so much for the knee surgery. As far as wrestling goes, from the day I was fired at the WWE, or released, as they called it, from that day forward, I wanted to turn their show on and see something that I could say, you know what? I see why they fired me. It's past my time, and by God, I had a great run, but it's just my time's over, and I see now these guys are much better than me, and I see that's okay. I can put that to rest now. The problem with that statement is 22 years later, I still can't say that. 22 years later, I look at their show and go, I still fit. I could still be on there. And I didn't want to say that for 20-something years later, but I do. So, but I still enjoy the show. I love AEW. I love the WWE. I love watching wrestling. I love the storylines. I still love pro wrestling. And I still want to be involved so bad. And I still think at 53 years old, I still think I can be. So I'm very excited about it. And I really do want another run at this thing.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I'm going to kind of combine a few, just wrapping it up. Where, first of all, tell us where your upcoming bookings and ventures are coming up over the next few weeks. And then where can we buy some Buff Daddy merchandise?
The best thing to do, man, is to go on my website, MarcusBuffBagwell.com, MarcusBuffBagwell.com. From that website, you can get to all my platforms, all my social media stuff. Also, you can see my schedule, what's coming up. Also, my email address is MarcusBuffBagwell@gmail.com, MarcusBuffBagwell@gmail.com. I take a lot of information with that too. That's also where you can find a lot of my, my pillow buddies and my top hats and stuff that you can find online. But the main thing to go, I think, is to go to my website, the MarcusBuffBagwell.com. That takes you anywhere you want to go. But like this weekend, I'm in Lufkin, Texas. Last weekend, I was 2 weeks ago, I was in Indianapolis. Last weekend was Salisbury, North Carolina for Bobby Fulton. Week before that was LA, WrestleCon. Bunch of stuff coming up in the future. A lot of cons, a lot of Comic Cons and WrestleCons, and a lot of little cities I'm in. North Carolina towns, a lot of drives, a lot of little indie shows, and a lot of big stuff too. So just real, I got big news. Dark Side of the Ring's doing their story on me.
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
There you
yeah,
go. That'll be very interesting.
Yeah, it will be. And I probably wouldn't have done it if I wasn't in a great spot right now. If I wasn't in a real good place with my life, I probably would have been a little more self-conscious about putting that out there, because they don't call it the Dark Side of the Ring because it's a good story. It's the Dark Side of the Ring because it's dark.
Yeah.
But the ending result is very bright. It's me looking good, feeling good, excited, sober. 7 months, 2 weeks sober to the day. My sobriety date is August 27, 2022. So set a little over, right at 8 months, I'm sober. Never have done that before. So I'm in a great place. I feel great, looking good, just excited about life again. DDPY is behind me as well, Steve Yu and their team. And I got my niece as well, Jonna, get me excited about the business again. And there's a lot of good things are happening with me, man. I'm just excited to see everybody again and come out sober and see everybody shaking hands and the fans. And every time I'm at one of these shows, 90% of the people that come up speak on my sobriety. And that's crazy to me, but it's the truth. And so it means a lot to me. That keeps me accountable, and it makes me care so much more about what I've really done here. And this, I want to tell the fans, thanks a lot for not forgetting about me.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Buff, I actually had you sign this belt at WrestleCon. I don't know if you remember or not, but because I'm trying to have all of our guests sign it. I'm actually running out of room now, but you know,
I remember.
I saw you at Comic-Con, had to get you signed it because I knew, I was like, I don't know when's the next chance. And then I was like, as soon as I left, it was just kind of like one of those moments, you know, you meet somebody, you grew up watching and idolize. So, I had you sign that belt, and I was like, man, I don't know when I'd never see him again. And then I was like, I'll see him in St. Louis.
That's okay. Bring another belt.
There you go. So Buff, in closing, first off, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We greatly appreciate it. We're gonna have lots of fun May 13th. Can't wait to see you there. But I don't know if you heard in the intro, but we usually ask all of our guests when they're on here just to say, hey, this is Buff Bagwell, and you're watching the I-70 Hot Tag. If you're okay to do that, fantastic. I'll have Josh put you center screen. As soon as we put you full screen, you just go ahead and go, brother.
Got it.
All right.
Hey, I'm Marcus Buff Bagwell, and you are watching the I-70 Hot Tag, baby. Check it out, and remember, no matter what, I'm Buff, and I'm still the stuff. Ha, 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 ha.
That was amazing. Sir, we again cannot say thank you enough for doing this. You made the 1 year super special for Josh and I. We are super excited to see you on May 13th. Other than that, that's all I got, brother.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
We'll see you on the 13th.
See you guys. Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Buff the Stuff Bagwell, taking some time out of his day to do this for us. We greatly appreciate that. Guys, if you are still watching, for those that are normally here, you know that we take a 5-minute intermission after our interviews. We're going to do that tonight. No different, but please do not leave because part of the 1 year anniversary is specials. Part of those specials is giveaways. Do you want to win something super cool? Do you want to know what it is? It's not going to be a t-shirt. I promise you, it's going to be something awesome. Those of you that have, been hanging around have a small idea of what it is, sort of what it's going to be. But guys, we're going to announce it right when we get back from commercial break. So don't go anywhere. We're going to tell you what the prize is and how you can win it. So don't go anywhere. Josh, you got anything before we?
Yes, sir. This is the first. So this is the 1 year anniversary episode. So we are changing the mid-show break just a little bit. You're going to see a little bit of a difference in what you're viewing for this. Also, we have 2 guests lined up in mid-May that we have not announced yet. You do not want to miss those. They're going to be on this mid-show break as well. But going forward, this is how our mid-show breaks are going to be. So again, appreciate everybody here, and we will be back with you in about 5 minutes.
all the haters of the Empire out there, you have finally come to an end because, as I said before, the illustrious one has the title. And that's it. It's OE, baby.
Listen, I told you all a year ago. You okay, Dickie? Yeah, just sit back down. I told every single one of you a year ago. I'm gold. I'm the one. I'm the illustrious one. I'm him. The best in the world. It was not a fluke that I beat Johnny Faith. No. It's time to live free inside of my liberty. It's time for every single one of you to understand that I am here to stay for forever. So it shall be done, because my name is the illustrious one. And you too. We did it. I am him.
Outlaw, how many times do I have to whoop your ass? You keep jumping in my matches, trying to whoop mine? I bet. Kenny, brother, I did not, you know what? I ain't got to explain nothing to nobody, none of y'all. Paget, both of y'all. If y'all want some, I'm right here. The champ ain't running, I ain't hiding. Triple threat, let's get it.
So April 22nd, at Soccer Nation, KCXW Unleashed, me and my partner, the Detroit Shooters, the Motor City Muscles, the Polish Powers, me go with what I want with two people that never even been on a tag team match together. Two people that, though they may be great by themselves, has never worked together to solve any problems. Now, I'm not a betting man. But if I was, I would put my money on the guy that only works out legs because he runs this company. And the guy that only works out back because he carries this company. If I was a betting man, I would put my money on Gerard, Jarowski. I would put my money on Storm.
Well, what do we got over here? Bada boom, realest one in the room. How you doing? And the St. Louis Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame and Fan Fest, May 13th from the Aviator Ballroom. How you doing? Bada boom, realest guy in a ballroom. I'm gonna be there. Be there, be square, long hair, don't care. I got winning streaks in my dirty underwears. What we talking about? I might have to get in the ring while I'm out there. Bada bing, realest guy in a ring. But in the meantime, make sure you're there at the Fan Fest Aviator Ballroom, like I says, okay, St. Louis, Missouri. All right? Aviator Ballroom, 10 a.m. Be there. How you doing?
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of the I-70 Hot Tag, the 1-year anniversary of the I-70 Hot Tag. Just got done interviewing Buff Bagwell. Had lots of fun. Got a lot of good stories out of him, man. I thought maybe, we were going to, give a little bit and then, kind of move on. But he provided a lot of great content. So you're muted, buddy. You're muted, buddy.
God damn it. Okay. Been doing this for a year and I can't figure this shit out. Anyway, Dark Side of the Ring announcement here. I don't know if that was his first time saying it or what, man.
I hadn't heard it, but
either.
I mean,
that's awesome.
That's cool, man. I'm very excited to see it. We appreciate everybody getting the questions in. But we appreciate everybody who submitted questions, guys. I wanted to give all of the questions. Unfortunately, I couldn't. We were on a time constraint. Yep. Tried to filter through as much as I could, but I wanted to make sure we got some of those in there for you, guys. Giveaway reveal time. I know that's what everybody's probably still here for. Plus, also to find out about Kansas and Missouri independent wrestling. But before we do that, I do want to talk about a couple things in the break video. Tobias stepping up his game on the promos, getting much better. Not that he was bad. He's already been good, but man, I feel like he's stepping it up. That was awesome. Love that new format where we get to watch some of the promos that the wrestlers drop during the week in our break video. It made me want to stay through the break. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was here right when we got back from break. Doesn't happen very often. So Josh can attest to that, but I wanted to see the promos that were breaking down. Also, watch your fucking mouth, Josh. That is right. Jake Boss in the house says, "What's up, Chase? Happy anniversary to the I-70 Hot Tag." We appreciate that. Also wanted to talk about Enzo Amore. Man, we've got to let's do that next week. Let's bring up a graphic that has everybody listed there, and let's go over it next week. Because man, I completely forgot that Enzo was supposed to be there.
Yep.
Which is nuts. So, very excited. Obviously there's going to be a lot of promotions running May 13th. We're going to get into that. Some that I'm very upset about. I've already put in my complaint to Joe McDonald and Michael Strider that I'm very upset that they're running the same day as the SICW because we're going to be at the Fan Fest and we can't be at CSW. So, like I said, I already put in my complaint there. But let's get into this, guys, as a way to say thank you for helping us and as a way for you to help us grow even more. Because one of the things that we've focused on or that we are focusing on in 2023 is growing. We wanted to spend 2022 learning and getting into this and starting, this is our 1 year anniversary. We want to grow. So as a way to say thank you and as a way for you to help us, we are going to do a giveaway. The giveaway is a championship replica belt, which is what a lot of people had already predicted. One of the things that is really ominous with Kansas City and professional wrestling is the history, the history of professional wrestling. Flair, Harley Race, the Horsemen, Greg Valentine, a lot of that stuff that is enriched in Kansas City and Missouri and Kansas. So as a way to say thank you for being with us for a year and helping us grow for year 2, we are going to be giving away a red strap replica belt of the NWA United States Championship. It is red on the front, black on the back. Okay. It is a replica championship. Okay. It is zinc. It is carved with a 3D laser. It's very good quality. I am doing a YouTube review on it, and I will have that YouTube video posted tomorrow. So stay tuned to my social media and the I-70 Hot Tag social media, and we will post that video on there so you guys can learn all about it. But yes, this is what we are going to start giving away. We are not going to give this away tonight. We are going to give you some time to earn it. Now, how can you win this is the next question. I'm so glad you asked. So the I-70 Hot Tag has a link tree with all of the I-70 Hot Tag social medias on it. If you are interested in winning this belt, you have to go like every social media profile that the I-70 Hot Tag has. If you say, well, Chase, I don't have a TikTok.
Get one.
Get one. Circumstances says premiere up. God, that's so weird. I don't know anybody on planet Earth that would put hashtag premiere up unless it was SK Bishop, Campbell Soup Myers, or Kenway. So we just found out which one we have to find out which one, whose burner account that is. Because that's somebody's burner account. One of those three guys.
They did it twice too.
I know. Yes. It's probably Campbell and Soup under the same account.
Right.
At the same time right now.
So yeah, guys, go to our link tree. It's posted on all of our social medias. Each one of you guys are here. You follow or at least are on one of them. That title is absolutely gorgeous. If you guys were at CSW Violence Begets Violence, you saw it in person. I held it. It's awesome. This is a great giveaway. One of our best. I'm gonna say the best giveaway that we've had.
Circumstances says no burner, my dude. You see me clapping for my favorite tag team every CSW event. No way, Jose.
Yeah, no way.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, guys.
Circum has an unnatural love for the thing.
For the premiere.
So not to interrupt you, but Gears of Kai brings up a great point. Son of a bitch, y'all are going to make me make a TikTok. Yes, we are going to make you make a TikTok. It takes no effort whatsoever, but it helps the I-70 Hot Tag. Because, guys, there's a couple of things. Number one, the I-70 Hot Tag is 400, a little under 400 followers away from hitting 1,000. You can't go live on TikTok without 1,000. The majority of social media content is digested on TikTok. In order for the I-70 Hot Tag to grow, we have to make our way onto TikTok. That's just unfortunately how it is. And actually, I just found out today that if we wanted to professionally, or not professionally, but, stream to TikTok like we are streaming to Facebook and YouTube right now, you have to have 3,000 followers. So TikTok is just raising the bar and making it harder for smaller content creators like Josh and I to get on there. So that's where we need your guys' help. And Oh, that did it.
They got you.
You got me. Yep, Brody. Sorry. You know,
gotta get it.
You get everywhere where the I-70 hot tag has a profile. So that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. You got to follow on all 5 of those. If you are already a follower, fantastic. Screenshot all the places that you follow the I-70 hot tag. Send it to Josh, or not Josh, but send it to the I-70 hot tag account. What we are going to do is when we stop the giveaway, and we are going to do this contest for 3 weeks. So we are going to collect as many followers and as many subscribers and followers as we can for 3 weeks. At the end of 3 weeks, we will announce the show that we are going to do the drawing on. We are going to do it on a randomizer, so it's fair. Nobody picks anything, whatever.
And I say we do a randomizer live on the hot tag.
Absolutely.
Where it is it's everybody can see it.
Yes, absolutely. So. The only thing I am going to add to this is proudly displaying my I-70 hot tag on my desk. Nice. I like that. Hot tag sticker. But guys, the only thing I am going to add to this is, even though, once you show us that you follow us on all social medias, you get 1 entry. If you want 2 entries, you can get 2 entries. You have to be a subscriber to my Twitch. If you are a Amazon Prime subscriber, you get an Amazon Prime Twitch subscription to give away 1 month. I would be honored to be that 1 month or that 1 subscription. Otherwise, it's $4.99 a month. That is the only way that you can earn 2 entries, is to buy it, pretty much.
So Hunter poses a great question. Where do you send the screenshots to? It does not matter but if you submit your screenshots of all your social media, please send them all to the same platform. Don't send me your Instagram from your Instagram and your Facebook to your Facebook. Screenshot them all and then send them all to one place. So if you want, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter are all fine. I actually prefer Instagram and Twitter Messenger over Facebook Messenger for the pages. It runs smoother. So I would recommend doing one of those, but you can do Facebook. Chase and I both have access to the Facebook page, so we can see both of those. But anyway, I would give them all your screenshots, send them to one place.
But yes, and once you do, like I said, send it. You'll get an entry. Earn a second entry by subscribing to twitch.tv/crmedia1988. And then, like I said, at the end of 3 weeks, we will close the entries, and we will collect all the names, put them in a randomizer, and then draw from there.
So that would be the hot tag episode on May 11th. That's 3 weeks from today.
Right before FanFest.
Right before FanFest. That's our Shazam McKenzie episode. So we will that's when it ends. The week we have Shazam McKenzie on is the last day you can enter. So you guys have 3 weeks, and then possibly, we don't know, I would assume the next week we would collect all the data and do the drawing on the 18th, I would think.
That is correct.
Yep.
That is correct. Yeah. Red strapped NWA United States Championship.
Could you create a new one, Gears?
Kai, go create a burner account.
Yeah, create a new one.
And stay tuned to social media, guys. We will post tomorrow on social media the requirements again, so that way there's no confusion if you guys missed it. But yes, that's what we will be pushing for the next 3 weeks. The whole point, like I said, guys, is to get the I-70 hot tag to grow, and it's our way of saying thank you. So I paid cash for this belt. I'm giving it away for free. So, well, unless you subscribe with Twitch, then it's not really free. But you get the point, guys. You get the point. But like I said, We the I-70 hot tag has to grow this year.
Yep.
And this is ways we're going to do it. And this is us testing out how this is going to work. We've done a giveaway before, had a very poor turnout. Hopefully this, because the giveaway we did before just focused on Kansas City. We gave away AEW Dynamite tickets, and it was just focusing on Kansas City. We realized that a lot of you don't live in Kansas City or live in the Kansas City area. You are scattered through Kansas and Missouri. Some of you are scattered all over the world, like Australia. But, so this gives everybody an opportunity to win something, not just Kansas City. So that is all I've got, man. Do you have anything to add to that?
Not to the giveaway, no.
Okay, because I spitballed a lot of that. So I apologize.
You're good,
Josh,
man. It was
Josh is a little pissed because I didn't converse with him about it. He's probably going to yell at me and fine me when we get off here.
Fine you. No, that's great. That's an awesome giveaway. And yeah, like you said, the Dynamite, it was very early on in our inception. So, but it was a decent one. It wasn't as big of a turnout as we thought it was going to be. We did give away the swag bag for the Buff Bagwell, who guessed Buff Bagwell. Herb Simmons, appreciate you joining in, sir. We just I'm not sure if you caught the Buff Bagwell interview. Fantastic. Talked about SICW on the 13th. Can't wait for that. And the giveaway, NWA United States Heavyweight title, the red strap. Gorgeous.
Yes.
Gorgeous. So with that being said, we are going to move into some local independent wrestling topics, our specialty. Unless you got something else.
No, I know. I'm excited to get into this one. I wonder if Mr. Ray Leon is still in the chat. Because what we're going to talk about is XWE Saturday, April 22nd, the day before my birthday. Actually, before we do that, I apologize. I am slacking here. My bad.
Now you're fine.
I know. Now I'm screwed. I do want to give a shout out to Big Tone TV, who did follow us on Twitch. And then also circumstances.
Circam size? Is that what you're going to say?
No, that's not what I was going to say. Circumstances. Appreciate both of you following on Twitch. Appreciate it. Also, Jake Boss, appreciate you putting that in there. Guys, we do have a Discord. We are trying to build that up, trying to have lots of fun in there. So whenever you guys get an opportunity, go check out Stream Elements, the link there, Discord. If you're not able to click that link, let me know and we will. If you're not able to click the link for the Discord, guys, let me know and I will message you a link. Like I said, we try to have lots of fun in there, so definitely go check that out. Anthony Graves, appreciate him joining with us. Yes, so what we are talking about is April 22nd, the day before my birthday. Local fights, local night fights at the Leavenworth Local Hotel, XWE. You're going to see the XWE champion Kuda. Unfortunately, you're going to see Red James, Chance Kerrigan, anybody there. You may even see the new XWE Liberty champion, Ray Leon. Obviously we haven't seen how Ray Leon won. I would imagine that there was a lot of quote unquote fuckery in that match, because there usually is with Ray Leon and the Empire. Yeah. So we're going to go there. Obviously, the last time we were there, we had a little bit of issue with the Empire, specifically Valencia y Paz. They were belligerent and kind of violent towards us. So we're going back. We're gonna go support local independent wrestling like we always do. And hopefully there's no issues this time. So yeah.
Yeah, we're supporting local independent wrestling. We're supporting XWE. We are not supporting the Empire.
That's right.
And definitely not supporting Valencia Paz. So
correct.
So it's going to be a fun evening. We went to the last one in Leavenworth in January, and I had a blast. So these guys kill it out there in Leavenworth and Salina, both XWE. But yeah, man, it's going to be fun. Why the heck is Ray Leon with a bunch of cheaters? Spectacular talent, yes, does great work over in Rocky Mountain and in the Kansas area. So.
Gosh, that's just crazy. I just can't. I've circumstances when we go to the next CSW event, the one after Aftershock, yeah. When the next CSW event, we'll be there, and when we're there, I'm gonna need you to come up and introduce yourself face to face,
please,
man. I just, number one, love to meet you. Number two. It's just absurd. We've been to every single event, and it's crazy you don't respect the talent of the best around. I gotta see proof. I didn't know if you spoke to me at the last event, sir. I apologize. I don't remember you being a Premier fan. If it was even noted. But now that it is noted, I just got to see proof that one of those exists. Yeah. Because
he might be from Wichita, Kansas. There was a lot of cheering that happened for the premiere over there in Kansas.
That is true. You know, that is true.
But the air is different over there in the Kansas. They
played a different role. I don't know if you remember that or not, but they stomped Valencia y Paz.
They did.
And any tag team that stomps Valencia y Paz is all right in my mind.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that event.
For that one night, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. When we walked up to their merch table and they were like, "See, we're not total complete pieces of shit." Ray Leon is like the sad version of Billy Blanks. Yes. I hate Wichita, Kansas.
You love the premiere, but hate Wichita.
Yeah. That's great. Good stuff. Let's talk about a new wrestling promotion.
Yes.
What is this on our list now?
As far as numbers go,
25?
No, I don't think we're over 20 yet. Let me pull this up real quick.
Well, I know some of them.
So we do have 23 total. If you look back at Championship Wrestling, Premier Independent Wrestling, they have not ran, and I guess UUCW have not ran since November. So anything that's ran an event in 2023,
I just now noticed
is
18. I wish I could show you guys the hard work that Josh puts into making these rundowns for us on our show, and then also he's got a spreadsheet of all the companies in our area, and then what he does is he filters it so the companies that it's been the longest since they've ran a show is at the very top. So Dean says, "Do you guys ever talk about Trailblazer?" Yes, Dean, we do talk about Trailblazer.
We have Trailblazer on the rundown tonight, sir.
We have Trailblazer on the rundown tonight. So,
yep.
Sounds like Chase and St. Louis. Yeah.
So we've got 18 companies that have ran a show in 2023, 23 total, and then obviously the 3 that no longer run and are defunct right now. So yeah. And one new one, man, Howl. We talked about that a few weeks ago. They're a new company, going to start up in September with their first show, but this is a new one over in Hutchinson, Kansas.
I'm very familiar with Howl.
I know. I heard. They're promoting OzCon very heavily. So if you guys are in the Ozark area, go check out OzCon and go check out their booth.
Absolutely. Next week I will give you guys just a little bit of a preview of what you can expect from Howl. So, but this company that we're getting ready to talk about is mainly Kansas based. But however, they did post on their social media, where would you like to see them go? I think this is kind of not just Kansas based, but it's also like central Kansas based, right? Like Topeka, Wichita, stuff like this. Hutchinson, Kansas. Yep. But they are willing to travel all over Kansas. I mentioned Kansas City, Kansas, because it's an absolute travesty that there was only 3 promotions running out of the Kansas City area, whether it's Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas. Just the fact that Kansas City only has 3. And I don't even know, could you consider Trailblazer Kansas City?
Ottawa's an hour away from us, from where
so
we live. When they were running in Olathe, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But HCW is Heartland Championship Wrestling. When they first announced, I immediately thought it was Hutchison Championship Wrestling.
Yeah,
but it is Heartland, which is a nod to Kansas. So they're gonna tour. I'm assuming they're gonna tour the state of Kansas and put on events probably in Hutchison, I believe. I'm not sure where else they're gonna run, but their Facebook page says that's where they're based. So, which is also where Prairie Championship Wrestling is based or was based.
Look what the cat drug in. Oklahoma is the Heartland. I don't shut up, Red.
There you go.
But Heartland Championship Wrestling will be based in Hutchinson, Kansas. It looks like so far they have signed Stormy Renee, Blade, and a silhouette that looks like it could be Johnny Faith. If I was a betting man, that's who I would put my chips on. Is Johnny Faith on that last one.
Yep.
So
good start to the roster. So
yes, absolutely.
I'm excited to see what they do and when their first event is going to be.
Yes.
So, let's see here. What do we got, man? Oh, so we got next up is Cape Championship Wrestling. I'm on a different page. Yes. This is big, man. This is big. I don't think we've talked about this. We talked about Matt Cardona being at Cape, but we don't think we've actually talked about this match yet. Special attraction match going up against the returning KLD.
Yes. KLD is, he took a little bit of time off of wrestling. He just recently came back. He was at Grandel. Brian J. And I saw him at GCW. He tag teamed with Jake Lander, which was awesome. It was a fantastic opportunity for them to show some St. Louis talent. Love the way GCW does it, much better than, your mainstream companies that, it's squash matches. No, these matches that these local talent were coming in. Dan the Dad took Blake Christensen to his limit. KLD and Jake Lander wrestled a phenomenal match. It was awesome. Now, obviously, I understand that GCW is not on the level that AEW and WWE are, but when you think of like some of the major companies around the world right now, GCW is rampantly climbing that ladder, and it is one of the companies you do think of when you think of top companies. Granted, it might obviously it's behind WWE and AEW, but MLW, GCW, and stuff like that. So to let our local guys go out there on Fight TV. On GCW's platform, which is viewed by so many people across the nation, and to be on the same card as, Nick Gage, Masha Slamovich, all those guys that GCW showcases for KLD, Jake Lander, and Dan the Dad to be out there doing that night was awesome. So I'm super excited to see KLD versus Matt Cardona, the King of the Indies.
Yeah.
I've retracted my. I think it's still possible, but
you've retracted
my prediction. I think it's going to be. Yeah. I think it'll be a little bit before Matt Cardona decides. I don't think it's Matt Cardona's decision. Let me take that back. I think it'll be a little while before a big company calls Matt Cardona to come join his wife. So, but I think it's inevitable.
Right.
I think it is obviously inevitable.
Yep. Well, good. I'm happy for Cape Championship Wrestling. This is a huge event. They've got Team Forge, the Forge over there with Mike Outlaw. Camaro Jackson's going to wrestle a match over there. I think there's another special guest referee, if I'm not mistaken. Drawing a blank on who that's going to be, but they're bringing in some big talent for this super show. So, and KLD, man, it's funny because if you follow Cardona on the Twitter, he posted he retweeted this graphic. I think it was this one. Maybe it was the a video. Anyway, he said, I'm going to Missouri and I'm facing King Kong Bundy's son.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go collide with a big boy here, and KLD put on a hell of a match at Grandel that we saw. So I think he's gonna hold his own, but it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, no, anybody who knows Matt Cardona and remembers Zack Ryder, if you follow Matt Cardona on social media, he is still very much into gym tan laundry. That's just the Long Island boy in him.
That's how he is.
Yep. Glory Pro, man. We have a problem, dude. So not we don't have a problem. I have a problem because
there's no we in this.
Yeah, I have a massive problem because I went and saw St. Louis Anarchy, which I will get into that. Maybe not. Probably not. Just all it. Man,
we can run through it. Yeah,
we'll run through it a little bit, but especially because I told Brian, I was like, we'll record a video like either in the hotel room or on the way back. And we never wound up doing it. Number one, because we stayed till 1 o'clock in the morning in St. Louis and drove back that night. But also Brian came back like the next day for bad booking, or maybe it was Monday. I don't remember when it was, but Brian was like, can't wait to break down that St. Louis Anarchy card with you. I was like, nope, not going to happen. I'm breaking it down with Josh on the hot tag.
Yeah, you said that on Monday, and I was like, all right, cool. I want to break down a show. I wasn't even at.
Yeah. Brian J was a little heated.
Yeah.
But no, Glory Pro, I went to this St. Louis Anarchy event, and we've been to Glory Pro. Obviously, we've been to Grandel, which works with Glory Pro and St. Louis Anarchy. And man, I'm tired of us not having what St. Louis has. That's ridiculous. You've got Grandel and you've got WrestleMax, who may not run shows every month, but man, they're running high caliber shows. And St. Louis Anarchy, that event, that venue, that atmosphere is up there with GCW, that rambunctious GCW, ECW type crowd.
Mm-hmm.
St. Louis has a plethora of stuff going on. And what do we have here in Kansas City? Like, don't get me wrong, I love CSW. CSW is great, but I need like 2 or 3 more CSWs. Like, that's ridiculous. I shouldn't have to travel 5 hours to go see great wrestling. There should be something all the time, like every weekend, every other weekend, something here in Kansas City. It's got to change. It's ridiculous. But Glory Pro goes ahead and announces another phenomenal event. Go for Broke, because they are doing absolute killer work over there. It's going to be May 21st. We're already going to be in St. Louis, man. We might as well just fucking stay and go to this event. But yeah, I will tell you how I feel, man. It's nuts, dude. Like, there's no reason why you can say, well, it's the commission. And don't get me wrong, the athletic commission here in Missouri is just as backwards and stupid as the politics here in Missouri. Stuck in 1922 is what the commission and the politics are here in Missouri.
Yep.
But there's Kansas right there. Like Kansas City, Kansas. There is still the general Kansas City area that we can have great wrestling, more than 2 wrestling promotions. I mean, like it's got to change. Something's got to go, because like I said, Glory Pro is putting on phenomenal events. We're going to talk about another one that's not in Kansas City. They ran an event in St. Joe, Missouri, or they'll sometimes run events in Central Missouri, but not in Kansas City. And that's Tri-States Wrestling. Tri-States Wrestling announced their Sliced Bread Slam event with Luke Langley against the Iceman for the Tri-States Wrestling Championship. Yep. Big shout out to Luke Langley. I know last time you and I talked, we broke down this event. broke down prior to Luke Langley winning this title.
Yep.
And then Luke Langley goes out and wins it. So, yeah,
they got Dr. Ison taking on Jeremy Wyatt for that U.S. Highway Championship as well. So,
man, here's another belt that Mr. Wyatt's going to go ahead and go collect.
Wyatt's already got it. Wyatt's carrying it.
Oh, he is?
He is.
I thought Dr. Ison was the U.S. Highway Champion.
No, because Wyatt cut a promo. I didn't know that either, but Wyatt cut a promo that said, "Good luck. You know, the only title that matters is the U.S. Highway Championship that I've got." So,
gotcha.
Yeah, he's the champion. But you know, I kind of want to piggyback off of what you said about the Kansas City promotions. And a lot of it has to do with and no fault of their own. They're going to book their own dates. They're going to book their own venues. They're going to do their own thing, right? The one I think back on was in August. This guy. This guy was August 27th, and which is funny enough that Buff Bagwell said that's his sober date was August 27th. Yeah. Also was one of our biggest nights ever was Horseman Country. We had Central Stage Wrestling, we had Journey Pro Wrestling, and we had Trailblazer Championship Wrestling, all running the exact same day or the same weekend. I'm pretty sure they all were the same day, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe Journey Pro was on Friday, but they all running the same weekend. It was the same weekend because they interchanged talent. CSW and Journey Pro did, but they all ran on the same date. So it was hard for us to even having three companies. They all kind of they don't separate their bookings, right? So they just they book when they book, right? So I agree, man. I think Kansas City deserves at least bi-weekly wrestling somewhere where we don't have to drive up to like you said, Tri-State Wrestling way up to Bethany, Missouri, which is 2-3 hours away. Yeah. Or now Trailblazers in Ottawa now. I don't know if that's permanent or not. That's an hour and a half. Leavenworth's an hour. Salina's 3 hours or 2 or 3 hours, something like that. So yeah.
The general area of Kansas City has, like I said, if you count Trailblazer in Ottawa as the Kansas City area, and then you've got KCXW, and then you've got Central States Wrestling.
Yep.
Like I said, Central States Wrestling is amazing. We think very highly of them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we've been to every single event. I'm absolutely heartbroken. This is going to be the first event we missed, et cetera, et cetera. But like I said, Kansas City needs 3, 4, 5 CSWs.
Yep.
Because like I said, you've got a plethora of fantastic stuff going on over there in St. Louis, in the St. Louis area. And then it's like, man, you got to go to Wichita, or you got to go to Salina, or you got to go Central Missouri, or Southwest or Southeast Missouri. It's just, man.
Yeah. Mid-States runs in Springfield, but that's only a couple times a year, right? So
absolutely.
100% agree.
CSW Aftershock, speaking of,
man. Go ahead.
Raz Dark Wolf says, is this a possible hint of the I-70 hot tag promotion? Man,
I don't hate it. I like that idea.
I don't hate it either.
Got to explore that a little bit.
Might have to. I don't know. Maybe next Wednesday over a stout brewery beer somewhere nice in Kansas City. Maybe we'll sit down and we'll talk about a promotion.
There you go.
Maybe.
There you go.
Who knows?
Central Stage Wrestling Aftershock, which funny enough was, I don't think you may have been down in Texas for this one, but we had a slow pitch softball team name, the Aftershock. So when I saw it, I immediately thought that. If you guys watched our
logo too, I think.
Huh?
It's the same logo it looks like too.
It was close. It was close. If you guys watched our mid-show break, we have
Brian J, real quick. Hey, he says, I'm not helping haul that ring around for free. That's bullshit. You will too. I've heard Jovi, Matt Jackson, all these guys walk up to Brian and be like, "Man, so awesome how Brian always there to help, always never complains." And then when we talk about a promotion, Brian's like, "No, you motherfuckers are gonna pay me."
Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna let you timekeep. I'm gonna let you timekeep and referee. You better help haul that ring out. Anyways,
so if you guys watched the mid-show break, we did announce two new, not new guests, but new guests we haven't announced yet. For May 11th is Shaza McKenzie, and we have another 2 events in a row. We're gonna have a women's match in CSW, and in this one, Shaza McKenzie is making her CSW debut against Heather Reckless, who we saw at the Violence Begets Violence, who got a very good reaction from the crowd, as did Tootie Lynn. But they both were kind of working as faces in that match, so they had a phenomenal match, and so much so that they brought Heather back, and now taking on Shaza, who we have not seen in Kansas City for quite a while, man. I don't remember the last time. I mean, she wrestled in Journey Pro a few times, but
I
don't remember the last time she was in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So I can't wait, man. 2 phenomenal wrestlers. As you know, we talk about women's wrestling in Kansas City, and this is going to be a fun match. I can't wait to talk to her about this, but yeah, they're going to tear it down.
Absolutely. I think I think that match between Tootie Lynn and Heather Reckless last month obviously opened a lot of ears. Like Michael Strider said, he heard the fans. And I think that's the ears I'm talking about, the ears of CSW. Know that there's some good talent out there, man. And it's going to be very awesome to see them start incorporating more women's talent in CSW and in Kansas City. So did want to give a special shout out to Wrestling with Sales. Looks like our good friend Gerald Bentley over there at Wrestling with Sales is going to be sponsoring that match. So if you guys, this will be the only time I give away free advertisements. But if you guys are interested in any sales esque videos, Gerald makes a very good living off of what he does. So definitely go give that a listen and listen him tell his stories and talk about sales in general. So the next match CSW announced, finally, after 2 months of them calling out the leaders of Team Forge in St. Louis, and them running through recruits that have come out of Team Forge in St. Louis, Mike Outlaw and Camaro Jackson are finally going to get their hands on the premiere. Sir Cam Stances is very excited, as he should be. This is going to be a good test for the premiere, man. I feel like this is going to be, not to take anything away from the guys that they've wrestled, but I mean, we're big Moses the Deliverer and Raheem De La Suede fans, but you're talking about here in CSW, Mike Outlaw and Camaro Jackson both have main evented for the big titles in CSW. So this is a big match for the premiere to go in there and take these guys on. So these guys just got done running a program with Miracle Violence Reborn and stuff. So like I said, this is going to be interesting for the premiere. I think this is going to be just as a challenging thing for the premiere as Wrestling the Howlets was. So like I said, you got two main event talent guys, coming, and probably can't be too happy, when you're wrestling and trying to focus on going after a singles title and whatnot, and you got two little pipsqueaks like Campbell Soup Myers and SK Bishop calling you out, and then trying to assault your friends and people you work with at Team Forge to get an opportunity. So this is going to be, like I said, man, this card is stacked already, and we're not even done with it. So
no, not done. They did announce, I do not have the graphic for it, but they announced a triple threat match. Before we get into that, I want to. Raz says, love the Australian representation, but hate the fact that Shaza is from Sydney.
Yeah. There's some beef there with where Raz is from and Sydney, Australia. So some beef. I don't know what it is.
Is that like KU beef with Missouri or?
I think so. I don't know.
There's a little bit more than that. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole fucking continent. I mean, it's not it's not like a state thing like us and like MU and KU, but
it can't be that
Squeaks, excuse me, sir. Yes.
Yeah. They did announce a triple threat match. I do not have the graphic because it happened after we already prepped for the show. It's a triple threat match. Dan the Dad versus Scott Tyler versus Ethan Price.
Yes.
So Scott Tyler is going to get is this his first non-singles match
in CSW?
In CSW. So, it'd be interesting to see if he's able to overcome having two opponents rather than one. Scott is undefeated in this in CSW, so that the match is happening on the card as well. So yeah, man, like I said, we're gonna be in St. Louis. It sucks. We're not gonna be there live, but what also sucks is, like I said, we've almost every month there's one day on the calendar that multiple companies run on the same date. And May 13th is that date. While we're in St. Louis, not only is CSW going to be absolutely killing it with Aftershock, but Trailblazer Championship Wrestling is going to be killing it with Tornado Alley. And we've got 3 stellar matches that we're going to go over. And there's actually a 4th, again, same thing that we did not get because we didn't prep for it, or they announced it already. But Raheem De La Suede going to make
take this match. I'll be right back.
All right. Is going to make his Trailblazer Championship Wrestling debut against the Yoga Monster, Mike Seidel. And Mike has wrestled, I believe, at every Trailblazer Championship Wrestling event. And we saw Raheem wrestle in CSW last month. He's in WLW, Team Forge. See him all the time in Glory Pro. So phenomenal wrestler, as is Mike Seidel. So this is going to be awesome, man. I'm extremely excited. This is only one of every single match on this card. This is, we've I know Dean asked about, do we talk about Trailblazer? And we do. This event right here is by far, on paper, the best event on paper that they have promoted that I can think of since they started, to be honest with you, in my opinion. I mean, you may have a different opinion, Chase, but in my opinion, this Tornado Alley is shaping up to be to be up to par on some of the top, the CSWs, the Glory Pros, they're starting to slowly creep up and put on this, like I said, it sucks. I love what we're going to be doing on the 13th, but there's 2 events in Kansas City, in the Kansas City area, that I would love to be at, and this is one of them.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, as far as I feel like this one that they've been pushing out more. I feel like I've been seeing a lot more Trailblazer stuff. I feel like they're starting to, which if you're a wrestling promoter, like, man, you've got free tools called Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. Yep. So like, and it's great area. I feel like, for me, maybe it's my algorithm, I don't know, but I feel like I've been seeing a lot more Trailblazer stuff, and for rightfully good reasons. Yep. Like you mentioned, this card that they're putting on is going to be a good show. So the next match we got on there is Madman Max Sterling versus Moses the Deliverer. I have not seen a Max Sterling match. But I have seen a Moses the Deliverer match, and I'm excited to see that. So,
Max Sterling wrestled a few times in World League Wrestling over there, Harley Race's promotion. So,
did he wrestle under Mark Sterling?
No, I don't think so. I think Mark Sterling might be his actual name. Non-kayfabe. Anyway, yeah, I think it's always been Max Sterling as a wrestler, but gimmick regardless. Moses, former guest.
Hey, Cue the Brian J correction for you here in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Damn it, you fucked up, Brian J. Anyways, Brian J.
He's trying to tap the screen. He's like, oh, God damn it, I didn't type fast enough.
That's right. Or no, he's probably drinking whiskey with the missus, and he's sitting in his living room watching us on his TV, and he's probably using his remote to type his message in. Okay.
That's great.
I thought Brian J was going to correct you,
dude. What? So this just announced earlier today, and Dean.
Yes, and this is huge.
Probably is interested in this match.
Absolutely.
Shooter Shylin, who is on the rise, a huge rise in our area, taking on Tootie Lynn. What an opportunity for Shylin to show the entire Midwest what she's made of. And I'm not saying she's any less than Tootie Lynn. We've just seen Tootie Lynn, kind of travel around in our area quite frequently, but this is going to be awesome, man. I'm extremely excited for this. And this was the match they announced that I sent you that message and said, man, I wish we were going to Ottawa. Like this Trailblazer event is shaping up to be awesome. And this one, I hope. I've not seen this Trailblazer. And Dean, you might have to correct me. I don't know. Does Trailblazer post their events anywhere? Or matches? Or do they even record them? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I have seen clips, but it's always been from like you said earlier with Buff, from crowd cell phone cameras. I don't know if they actually record them or not. But this match right here, Dean, I know you'll record it. I know you'll go live. We're going to be in St. Louis. Or actually, no, this is going to happen at night, 7 p.m. We'll be on our way home from this. So we might be, I might be pulling that bad boy up on our drive home. We may have to pull over for this match.
I thought you were going to say, that we might sneak out of there and try and make that event. That was more in the wheelhouse of what I was thinking, brother.
I would love to be able to make it. Yeah. If we leave at 5, there's no way we're making it to Ottawa, Kansas from St. Louis in 2 hours.
Back with a pepperoni loaded thin crust pizza. What better way to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the hot tag?
My man.
I don't dig the thin crust call, Hunter Dillon, but listen, man, I eat ass, so I don't judge anybody's taste buds for any different reasons. So.
And off the rails we go.
They're going to start. Yes. Awesome. There we go.
If Chase not calling, we can make some good Trailblazer content.
Absolutely. The next match or the next event is like we talked about. WrestleMax has announced their event, Reborn. They are going to have a 6-pack elimination challenge for the vacant River City Championship. It's going to be Mike Outlaw versus Raheem De La Suede versus Camaro Jackson versus Davey Vega versus Kareem versus Merck. Man, that's going to be at the Columbia Turner Hall in Columbia, Illinois, right across the river and the state line. It's going to be on June 30th, bail time 7:30. Guys, the group, the guys, Mike Outlaw, Dan the Dad, KLD, the core of St. Louis, they're doing phenomenal right now, putting on fantastic shows.
Yeah, I'm that event's going to be phenomenal. What did he say?
There's no S. I when I worked for Matt, his wife Crystal was from Illinois, and she would always get on to me when I said Illinois. So yeah, always get on to me.
Did you put an S at the end of Aldi?
No.
Okay.
I do. All these? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people say Aldi's. So
yeah.
Look at that. Brody's I like it.
Yeah.
Still in the chat. I like it.
Front and present. Like it. But yes, guys, WrestleMax announced their event. Going to be a fun show. Like I said, just like those guys in St. Louis, they put on great shows. So,
so we are about 15 minutes from the 2-hour mark. We like to keep it around 2 hours. We have nothing else on the rundown.
Chase, I'll take 5 minutes. I'm just going to take 5 minutes.
I was going to say, you were at St. Louis Anarchy, so I don't want to skip this. I did skip it on the rundown because I forgot. But I want you to kind of tell us what you thought of Anarchy and kind of just give us a quick, brief rundown. And I'm going to be right back.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Brian J and I, we went Friday. We checked into our hotel, which was in St. Charles, and then we headed to Spalding. Spalding is in a very old part of town. It's an old church building. Definitely not what I thought it was watching it on TV. I thought maybe it was like a clubhouse or an event center, but it was very, very, very different when you walked in there. But man, as soon they've got production at the very back of the room, and then they've got some wrestlers' tables that sell merch. Once you get past that, the feeling, the atmosphere that you get in Spalding is crazy. The noise carries. It's a phenomenal independent wrestling venue. You watch some venues on TV and you're like, man, professional wrestling just belongs in this stadium, whatnot. But when I go to independent wrestling shows, the Kansas City, Kansas National Guard Armory, fantastic looking independent wrestling venue. Brian J, it was a VFW hall pre-pandemic. Exactly. And that's what this looks like. The crowd, very rambunctious. I made the mistake. There is a little girl named Lucy. She is War Paint Girl. I sat right behind her. Now I don't think her parents were very fond of me. Yelling F-bombs. But this is the same little girl who flips off wrestlers. So, I'm just saying.
She'll be
just saying. I got a side eye from one of the parents when I was like, F you, Wyatt, like really loud. But every wrestler that Lucy didn't like, Glass House's love. Yeah. Every wrestler that Lucy doesn't like, she puts up 2 gigantic middle fingers. And in fact, when Warhorse signed her picture for her, he put, "Watch your mouth, Lucy." But I did. I got a side eye from the parents when I yelled it really loud. They were like, I don't know if they were upset because my loud voice broke their eardrums, or if they were completely appalled that I yelled several 4-letter F words in front of their child. But like I said, potato, potato. All right. Potato, potato. If you guys have not seen the video, again, St. Louis Anarchy goes on IWTV, and they also upload to YouTube. The final match between Dingo and Derek Neal was absolutely amazing. The ending of the event was a shocker. Does it matter? Are we doing spoilers?
We always do every time we do it. So go ahead.
Okay. Jeremy Wyatt came out to help Dingo. I was expecting Jeremy Wyatt to hit Dingo. He never did. So I was very shocked. So I don't know if you would call that a Jeremy Wyatt face turn. It was just very odd. Like I said, it didn't really suck the air out of the room, but it had me and a lot of people scratching our heads going, what's going on here? Because like I said, after the match, Greg Jovi and Derek Neal were beating the dog snot out of Dingo. So, and Jeremy Wyatt came out for the stoppage, which was odd.
Yeah.
Brian J says Manders and Mad Dog was absolutely amazing. Guys, I talked about Mad Dog. There is a situation going on in St. Louis Anarchy right now, guys, where the head honcho is Derek Neal, because it's Derek Neal. It's the King's Road Slayer. I heard a guy talk about some people don't look like champions in independent wrestlers, and that's fine. Whatever. I'm here to tell you that Derek Neal looks like a fucking champion.
Yeah.
And I'll take Derek Neal over. I will put Derek Neal in the same as far as looking like a champion. You know, sorry, these guys aren't 6'4", okay? But looking at these guys, Moonshine Mantell, Derek Neal, those two motherfuckers look like champions. And Derek Neal fits the mold. So, but the thing that I'm talking about is happening in St. Louis Anarchy right now is while Derek Neal is running amok, you've got two amazing talents that are right here, right behind him. Number one, Thomas Shire, right behind him. Thomas Shire is doing some stuff around the world right now. So I feel like his jetpack is not as strong as it should be. It is, but I mean, just in St. Louis Anarchy is what I'm talking about specifically. So the next one would be Mad Dog. In fact, Brian J and I went to GCW the next night, and we were like, Mad Dog belongs on this card. Absolutely. Mad Dog is the epiphany of what you think of when you think of St. Louis Anarchy. You think of GCW, you think of old school ECW. Mad Dog can work you in and out of a ring like none other. And Mad Dog can beat the dog shit out of you and leave you in a pool of your blood and his. Mad Dog is a special talent. And I think St. Louis needs to keep him, Thomas Shire, and Derek Neal as long as they can.
Yep.
Now, St. Louis Anarchy has announced their next event. That's one of the things that ended the match prior to the main event. We saw Billy Starks grab the microphone and make a challenge to Yamato. I apologize. I cannot remember the name exactly, but I'm afraid to say, because I'm afraid I'm gonna butcher it. But anyways, Billy Starks challenged her for the next event on June 9th, which is already looking to be a phenomenal card. Gary J attacked Anakin Murphy, and within attacking Anakin Murphy, unleashed something in Anakin Murphy. I would like to show that video next week. I know we don't have time this week, but I would like to show that video of Anakin Murphy talking about that, because it was the most real thing I'd ever seen, or that I've seen in a very long time. I don't want to overblow that, but right now, how I feel after watching that promo by Anakin Murphy, I felt like that I had goosebumps because it just felt real, and it is real. But I would like for us to watch it next week. It's very, very amazing. If you haven't watched it, go find it on St. Louis Anarchy's social media pages. The crowd was it was everything you expected it to be. It's wild. It's rambunctious. It's great. There's some people on one side of the room that are cheering for Jeremy Wyatt. Very select few, maybe two or three, crazy people like circumstances. But I think they were cheering for Jeremy Wyatt, and then there was other people that were chanting vigorously, violently against Jeremy Wyatt. Yeah. And it wasn't just Jeremy Wyatt, but I'm talking about the whole night. Everybody made it very well known who their favorites were and who their non-favorites were. And it's a great atmosphere. If you have not been through St. Louis and you have not checked out Glory Pro, I highly, highly suggest you do it. It's amazing. Intelligent people with an eye for real talent. Same thing. Yes. That's all I have, man. Like I said, we talked about GCW at the beginning. It was crazy. It's wild to go to GCW. It was awesome to see our St. Louis people used in GCW and showcased the way they were. I got this stupid little pop figure of
Funko Pop.
Meadow Extremo. Dude, the belt is practically full.
Yeah. So, it's funny. That's badass. And you got Buff Bagwell right there. I see Buff. So, real quick, I love that idea of getting our guests to sign the belt. Obviously, I was only going to have AEW wrestlers sign that, which I had Matt Sydal, Brock Anderson, and Arn Anderson sign my belt. So I absolutely love Anakin Murphy, by the way. I hope he starts tearing it up in Anarchy or elsewhere. Regardless, I'm a big fan of his. And the crowd loved him at Grandel when we were there. But anyway, back to your deal. So I have made a binder that I'm going to start carrying around in our. I'm probably gonna have to buy a fucking backpack or something to carry to these events because this thing is fucking heavy. But so I made a binder, and it is it's a 2-inch binder, and I have page protectors in them. And what I have in these are
your penis.
Absolutely, all 2 inches of it. So now that's terrible. These are some of the first couple graphics that we had for the show, but then every single show graphic that we've had all the way up to Buff Bagwell are in here. So thanks for sticking around, Brody. What I'm going to start doing is when we go to these events and they're all printed on photo paper, same thing you have here, hanging up here. I'm going to have them sign the show graphic that, your logo that you created on the show graphic that I created. I'm going to have them sign them, and I'm just going to keep it in that binder. And then we have that big trifold that we have at events that we're going to put up on our table at every event we sponsor. And I'll put the signed copy, if there's a signed copy on there, and display it. So hopefully at some point my binder will be as signed as your title that looks like it's about ready to fall off the shelf.
I think it's this.
Or the camera might be crooked. I don't know.
I might actually fall off.
Yeah. But anyway, I hope that I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start it this weekend. So we're going to see a few guys and gals that we've had on the show.
Fantastic.
XWE, baby.
Guys, while we still have quite a packed house in here so far, guys. I know some of you aren't talking. Some of you are. Want to remind you, we are giving this bad boy away. Look for the YouTube video, the review video to come out tomorrow. I will
CR Media 1988 on YouTube. That's where it's going to be.
Yes, and we will share it on the I-70 Hot Tag social medias as well, so you guys can go view it. But Chase's house does lean to the left, Brian. That's a different conversation for a different time. I feel like I should. Never mind. Anyways, I punched the guy who built my house. They will be all over social media tomorrow on how you can win this belt again. It's going to be lots of fun, guys. As we close out the show, as you guys know, we like to talk about the future events coming up. April 22nd, XWE local fight night, Leavenworth. The I-70 Hot Tag will be there. Make sure you get your tickets. Don't know where to get them online. So show up to the Leavenworth local hotel and buy a ticket at the door.
Yes. Pack that place out, baby. We're going to be there.
Cape Championship Wrestling Super Show. Matt Cardona will be there April 29th. April 30th, Glory Pro live at the Pageant Powerhouse. Johnny Glory and Bussy will be there live in action. And then also May 6th, Tri-States Wrestling, Slice Bread Slam, Chillicothe, Missouri. Luke Langley versus the Iceman for the Tri-States Wrestling Championship. And then World League Wrestling Door to Destiny, a 15-man battle royal. That's going to be super exciting. And then, May 13th, SICW Fanfest, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., I think. And then they do a show at 6 p.m.
5 p.m. It's 10 to 5. Yeah.
10 to 5. So come hang out with us for 7 hours, guys. It's going to be a flipping blast.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Cannot wait for that. Kick Valentine and Pez's asses. No, that's not necessary. They should just mind their own business. Leave us alone. Getting tired of those little bendejos posting all the time on social media, tagging us in it. I don't care about a Tobias promo. I don't care. Obviously, I have a medical card, so I obviously celebrate 420 before 420 was legal in Missouri. So they don't need to tag me in that stuff. I don't know what these guys are doing. They just leave us be. Okay. We do podcasts. You unfortunately wrestle and are really shitty at it. So, which is why you lost. I thought that was great. They lost at the last XWE event, but yet they came out like they won something when Ray Leon won that belt. It's like Ray Leon does all the work, and then those guys reap the benefits. Great fucking show, guys. Great interview, and congratulations on 1 year.
Thank you,
Dean. Love you, dude. Cannot say enough. Dean is here every fucking show, no matter what. Dean has supported us, and we will show Dean and Shylin, and maybe sometimes Amber Houston, as long as she don't come in here talking shit about my belt. I will show all those guys love. Casey,
Dean Houston is the man, not to be confused with Dean's Trophies.
Not to be confused with Dean's Trophies.
But
not to be good.
It's a damn good name for a company, though, right?
Yes, it is. But those are the local events coming up. Hunter says, before you guys go, I have one more question. I don't know if you missed it or not, but I usually ask this question to the wrestlers. But as the anniversary show, I think I should ask this to you guys. If you could write a letter to your younger self, Josh, what would it say?
Oh boy.
Right. Fuck that 2 hour mark.
Yeah. God damn. No. Just honestly, just for me, it's just do what you love. Don't really worry about. And I still kind of think about this as well. Day to day is if you like something, if you love something, wrestling was a huge. What? Oh, I got you. Wrestling was a huge, when you were a fan of wrestling, you got a lot of people who weren't also fans of wrestling in like middle school, high school, elementary school, whatever. Even after, it was always kind of a, hey, wrestling's fake. Wrestling's a, you're gonna be all right, brother. You're gonna. I gotta. Anyway, I'm losing it. Chase is Chase distracted.
I'm here. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's broken. He's broken me. He's lost my train of thought. Anyway, so what I was saying, guys, is do what you love. If I was gonna write, something to my younger self, is don't worry about what other people think. As a wrestling fan, pretty much my entire life, it was always you got made fun of for being a big wrestling fan. If you got too excited for it, it was people wouldn't respect you for it, and you always
they still do.
You got belittled. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But I don't give a shit now. Back then, as a younger self,
I get called Mark by Dean's kids.
Yeah. So. Now I don't care if I get called a Mark. And back then I was like, maybe I shouldn't, pursue this. And it doesn't have to be wrestling. It'd be anything, guys. Like if there's something you love, you want to do, you just go for it. Who gives a shit what somebody you're never going to see again or you thinks about you or says about you? Just proceed with how you want to live your life, and that's what I got to say, man. That's my letter. Just, do what you love. Don't wait until, in your 30s to do what you want to love or what you love. So, Chase, he asked you as well. What would you write to yours?
Be patient. I was always For anybody that knows me personally knows that I'm a real big advocate for mental health, and went through some mental health issues myself. And it was because I wasn't patient. I wasn't patient with myself. Wasn't patient with, my kids, wasn't patient with my family. And I think that if I would have been patient with myself at a younger age, I think I would have done things a lot differently. But I was really hard on myself, and always, I was way harder on myself than I was others. Just that's what I would be, is write a letter that says, be patient. Don't be hard on yourself. I'll tell you what, I agree with you, Josh. There was a point in my life where I was like, man, I wish I would have or wouldn't have listened to people. I wish I would have stayed in wrestling school. I wish I would have given it a try. I wish I would have, pursued it more. But man, I'm glad that I have the knowledge that I have now. And I've decided that, because we are at that age in our life where I don't fucking care if my daughter's 18-year-old friends are like, your dad likes wrestling. Your dad watches wrestling. Oh my God, what a loser. Like, shut up. I'll piss on you. I mean, right. But now that I'm at that age, now I'm glad, because now I can pursue something in this business, no matter what it is, no matter if it's commentary, no matter if it's graphic design, promotion, anything like that in this business. And I'm happy with it now because, I know that I have my life experiences. So, to answer Hunter's question, I would focus mainly on me and who the young man I was, and just say, hey, be patient. Don't be so hard on yourself, and be patient with others. Be patient with yourself. So,
I like it.
Calm down there, Ollie Sykes. No pissing on people. Absolutely.
I was gonna say something, but I'm glad.
Who's our guest next week, brother?
We have Dan, the dad.
Nice. We're gonna have to find a
we got a plethora to choose from. So
yeah, we're gonna have to find a good match, Dan the dads to watch. But as Josh said, we have a plethora of them to choose from, so it's gonna be lots of fun. That's all right. She calls me a mark too. That makes me feel better. But we very excited to have Dan the dad on next week. That's all I've got.
Long waited, man. We've been trying to get Dan on for a while, and
yes,
finally timed it up right with his schedule. So and just before a huge Glory Pro event with Johnny Glory, man.
Absolutely. Very, very exciting. If you don't have anything else to close us out with, Josh.
Nope.
Aaron Wallace, we appreciate you joining. He said this is his first time being here, and he's looking forward to every episode. Love it.
My man.
Same Kai. I wonder if I can get him to tell me he's proud of me. My actual dad never did. Oh my God. Anyways, guys, we appreciate you joining with us tonight. Remember, if you are not already, go join the Discord. If you guys need a link to the Discord, hit exclamation point Discord on the Twitch side. It will bring up Stream Elements. Will bring up a link. If not, private message me or Josh. We will get you the link to it, and definitely come join the conversations with us. Like I said, we're trying to build it up, trying to have fun in there. All kinds of different stuff. Make sure you follow the real Josh Elliott on all forms of social media. Make sure you follow the I-70 hot tag on all forms of social media. When you do follow the I-70 hot tag on all forms of social media, make sure you screenshot it and you send it on Messenger on Instagram or Twitter to the I-70 hot tag, so we can count you in for the drawing. Even if you are already a follower of all those pages, we need you to screenshot, because we're not going to go through and find everybody who's followers already.
Yeah, screenshot is the only entry into winning this belt.
Yes. So you can be a member. You can like all of our social medias already, and it will get you an entry, but you have to enter in manually by sending the screenshots. Other than that, guys, make sure you follow CR Media. Make sure you stay tuned to my YouTube. I will be posting that belt review. It's part of the agreement I have with the gentleman who made it. So check that out. See what you have an opportunity to win. And I don't have anything else, Josh. Nothing. All right. So for myself, Chase CR Media, for 1 whole year, my tag team partner, my friend, my confidant, Josh, the real Josh Elliott, not a fake one. As always, this is the I-70 hot tag. We put over Kansas and Missouri wrestling because we believe that Midwest wrestling is just as good, if not as good, as East Coast independent wrestling, South independent wrestling, West Coast independent wrestling. No matter where, we don't think this is a bad place to be. We think it's one of the best, and we are here to tell you about it every week. So, as always, goodbye, good night.